This is Morten.
And this is Olaf.
And this is Jake, and we're from Amaranthe, and you're watching Chaos
TV.
Hello everyone! Chaos TV is today here at Pori at Porispär Festival, and we have here 3 guys from the Swedish band Amaranthe. So first off, hello and welcome to Chaos TV, guys, once again.
Satana, perve! Satana.
No, you are.
Oh, I'm Jakey.
And I'm Olaf.
And I'm Morten.
Hello.
And welcome.
So you guys just played your show here at Porispär. How did the gig go?
We did?
I think we did. No, it went fantastic. We had really no idea what to expect because we've never been in Pori before. But I think that Pori is probably like the 19th or 20th city that we play in Finland, and it's always been good so far. So yeah, it was overwhelming. Great response. Played in the middle of the day. Sun was shining. The fire was burning.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had nothing to complain about. Great audience. Lovely to be here.
That fucking fire was awesome.
The fire was the best thing, I think. Yeah. What do you think, Morten?
I like the drum solo, but who doesn't?
Yeah, your mom doesn't. But yeah.
So during your career, as you said, you have played in Finland already quite many times, but do you have like any special memories from Finland that you would like to share with us? Something that has been unexceptional from the normal, basically.
Actually, when we play in Tampere at the
Tammerfest or
no, the venue.
Oh, the Pakkahuone.
Yeah, the Pakkahuone. The Pakkahuone is the best venue in Finland because they have a sauna in the dressing room, and we love that. We book Pakkahuone every time just because they have a sauna.
Yeah, so we don't have to pay the sauna fee, which is like €5.
Exactly.
It's very expensive.
No, but what are you asking? Some special thing about Finland. Last time we toured Finland, were like 300 meters of snow and really, really cold. I will always remember that. But apart from that, Finland is actually our second home. Yes. We fucking love Finland, and the Finnish fans always support us. They always come to the shows, and you always know when you go to Finland, you never have to be nervous or something about like people not showing up or anything. You always know it's gonna be packed, and you're gonna have a great time, and that's what we love about Finland.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things that sticks out, like playing not a small city, but a smaller city like Seinäjoki and having like more than 700 people. That was kind of mind-blowing last year. But the thing that really sticks out was 2 years ago we played the Q-Stock in Oulu, and we had such a fantastic gig. It was the first really big festival gig that we did in Finland, and right after me and Joan went bungee jumping while Roxette was playing Listen to Your Heart. So that was kind of a good experience. What are you saying, Morten?
I'm sorry, but
I'm just very, very impressed that you actually remember it, because you were not very sober, but you did it anyway.
No, actually it was really high because he was bungee jumping.
Yeah. It's pretty high up.
Wow. That's a good one.
So it was like announced few days ago that your new album, the third one, is gonna be entitled Massive Addictive, and it's gonna be released on October through Spinefarm once again. So could you guys tell us like shortly about the whole writing process for the album? Are you the kind of guys who usually basically write music when you are on the road, or do you need like time off to start thinking about new fresh ideas?
This is really funny because
Can I start?
Yeah.
We started the whole process like in November, December something.
Actually,
but
even earlier.
Yeah, and maybe earlier. But then when we went on tour, we did our first headline tour in Europe in February, March.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true, right? And we actually brought our studio with us, so we were recording stuff on the road this time, and write songs while we were doing shows, and that was it was a new experience, but it was really, really cool. Olaf did all that work actually.
But it was just a strange thing because I've been having this idea and we've been talking about it, you know, bringing our home studios on the road to actually see if that works. Because usually you don't. It's hard to be creative when you have to, you know, deliver and focus on the stage, and there's a lot of other things to think about. But it actually worked out really well, and I think we finished like maybe 5 songs on the road. So that was a pretty cool thing to know that it works.
And I have to do some commercials here, but Avid actually brought us a Pro Tools system and an 11 rack for us,
exactly.
so that we could do this on the road, because this stuff costs shitloads of money. But our sponsors, even Sennheiser and stuff like that, helped us to build this studio that we could bring along the road, and that helped us to actually do the music for this album, and that's really cool.
Yeah, so actually to answer your question, you know, it was we did have like 2-3 months off, and then we did Ride on the Road, so it was a combination of that. I think that when you're really trying to innovate and trying to find new sounds, because the new album is a little bit different, I think that it's good to be able to focus on it, but when it comes to finishing songs up, I think the writing process on the road works fine, so there you go.
So, what can you guys tell us about the new material? When you released the last one, the Nexus, you said that you pretty much tried to do like a more diverse album and to basically push the boundaries, to do the poppy parts to a more poppier direction and do the heavier parts to more heavier direction. What was like your...
Why the hell is that? That's a straight up lie. It sounds like something I would say, actually.
So what was like your goal when you tried to do this one?
We tried all the chords that we hadn't tried before.
Yeah, all the notes that we hadn't played. It was...
So now we're down in like B sharp major.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big change. We went from C standard tuning to B standard tuning. No, but from the get-go, the idea for this record was to really step it up. And I think that the Nexus was absolutely, you know, what we described before. It was more poppy on the poppy parts, more contrast, more heavy on the metal side. But at the same time, I think it was we were playing it a little bit safe. I think in a good way, but we turned everything up to 11 from what we did on the first record.
And now we turn it up to 12.
No, it's actually 11.5, 0.6.
Okay. The fans are gonna be disappointed now.
Yeah, I think so.
I said 12, you said 11.5.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad now. But no, but it's definitely, in my opinion, it's definitely a bigger step this time. Both sound-wise and quality-wise and everything. I think it's a much more intense album. It's much more challenging and controversial album as well. So we're really super excited about it. What do you say, Morten?
I don't agree at all. I actually think in many ways it's less intense, because it's sort of, in generally it's like a lot groovier and a lot more. There's a lot more air to the whole sound. There's a lot more space for everything to be heard properly, and there's a lot more, yeah, like lot more space in general. So it makes every element stand out a lot more clearly maybe than on the past 2 albums. It's not quite as hectic, although we do have fast songs on this album too, but it's different. Actually, we can say that this time without lying, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but intense is also a matter of.
There's a wasp.
Yeah, it's also a matter of definition when you're talking about intense, because just like Morten is saying, he's absolutely right. Like the Nexus kicks off with a song like Afterlife, and it's very intense in the sense that it's really pushing both in speed and the sound and the production and everything. This time it's a lot more intense, but in a very different way, and I guess you will have to wait until October 21st to really, you know, get an idea of what's going on there. But we're super excited about it.
Or if you live in Japan.
Yeah.
Were there like some things that you wanted to do differently this time around?
I think, you know, the obvious difference was naturally Henrik being a new member of the band, and definitely bringing something new to the table. So I guess we wanted, you know, the growl was with Andy. He's the, you know, phenomenal growler, one of the best in Europe for sure. But he was also at the same time, he was very old school, more melodic death metal, 90s Gothenburg kind of style. Henki is much more groovy. It has a different kind of attitude, I guess. And I think that we really tried to bring that into the sound. While we were writing the growls, we were listening to Henrik's other band, Scarpoint, and hearing this almost, I'm swearing in the church now, but almost kind of hip-hop kind of groove. And we wanted to bring a little bit of that grooviness, into our sound also. And I think that turned out really cool. What do you say? What do you say, Elise? Say hi to the camera. Tried new things with the vocals.
The phantom of the opera is there inside my mind. So that's kind of how I wanted the new album to sound like. A little bit more like a musical or opera. No, I'm kidding. I wish, but it didn't turn out that way in this one. But no, I was saying that I think that we wanted to develop the vocal melodies and play around a little bit more with our vocals than on the previous 2 albums. So I sing a little bit higher on this one. Okay. So if we continue like that, it will end up with like.
Hopefully never. But I would say, from my perspective, since I'm not a singer, I can see it, from a bit of a distance. And Elise sings a little bit higher with a little bit more rockish kind of attitude, and Jake is a little bit more attitude-ish, and a little bit more laid back, and a little bit cooler, I would say.
Sexy, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't remember the recording. I was so fucking drunk the whole time.
Yeah, that was Jake in the studio.
Taking the rock star life, basically.
Exactly. I totally have a rock star life now. I have a kid and everything. Like living the dream.
Yeah.
No. Actually, my daughter, she sings higher than Elise already. That's pretty cool.
So, what have been like the main influences for the lyrics of the new album? Are there like some certain topics that you are dealing with it?
It's actually the first 2 albums were more or less a history. Like we wrote the first 2 albums like it would be a movie, and some kind of what do you call it?
Like a concept.
A concept, a story, and that concept ended on the Nexus. You have to really turn the songs around to actually get the story, and we will probably unveil that when we're 70 years old or something like that, or make it,
Infinity is actually the last song in the story.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. And but on this album we focused on the lyrics being a story per song.
Yeah.
So all the songs is about something else. Was some kind of hard to write the lyrics for this album actually, but it was also fun. But we took a big step up, and we also thought about it in a way that it should be easy to listen to it, and catchy and direct, and also easy to take it to your heart and make your own. That's what we always do. Make your own impression of what the lyrics means.
So it has been said, like with many different bands, that the third album has been like the hardest one, because after 2 albums you pretty much have to have like your own style already what to do. So did you feel like any pressure when you were creating this third album from the past 2, because those were quite successful ones?
We were pretty lucky there, because our first album hit the charts, and we made some kind of a success already on the first album. We all had different bands before, and we released tons of albums before Amaranthe, and we were striving, for the third album, which never happened. But all this third album bullshit that we hear about happened for us on the first album. So what we had to do now on the third album is actually to just prove that we're here to stay.
Yeah, and I think that somehow making a sophomore album like the Nexus were probably a lot more pressure, because we obviously did have some kind of success on the first album. To see that the second one was received in such a good way also, it really lightened a lot of the pressure on it. But I think that, you know, when you're sitting down and writing a record, you're always looking for that song that relieves you a little bit. And I think that this time it was the lead single. It's called Drop Dead Cynical. When we had written that song, it took a lot of the pressure up from your shoulders, because you kind of know that if you just have this one good song, then you know that you kind of still got it somehow. And then the great songs just kept coming. And especially, you know, after we saw very clearly that we had like 3 or 4 very, very strong singles, then we could like relax somehow. And the good songs just kept coming until the end, even until the very last day of Morten's drum recording. There's a song on the new CD called Digital World. We finished writing that 10 minutes before Morten actually recorded the drums for it. So
Wasn't finished.
it was actually not finished even.
Is it okay if I say this? I just got it.
Yeah.
I just got a message from our old A&R, Alex Hurst, who used to work at Spinefarm.
Yeah.
He said, I got a chance to stream the album. Great work once again. You have brought a new angle to the music, so it sounds all new, but still you sound like Amaranthe. There you have the new album.
That was like the first early review of the album then, I guess. So far you guys haven't had like any guest musicians on the album, but do you have any guest musicians on this CD?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a really funny thing, because
I've had guest musicians since the first album.
no,
Yes.
did we?
Ja,
Elias.
Elias.
Are you talking about that as well?
Yeah, Elias is a guest musician.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he
Or is
guy.
he a ghost?
Yeah. No, it was more an arrangement thing more than, you know, a guest solo or like a lead vocal thing or whatnot. But on this record, we actually have this guy. I actually don't remember his name. That's kind of embarrassing. But he plays in a band where the guitar player is also helping Jacob Hansen, the producer for the album, out in the studio. The band is called As Fiction. Yeah. And it was pretty funny because we had recorded a song, all the growl vocals, and then Henrik went home, and when he had gone home we realized that, oh shit, we are missing some vocals here. So we're like, what to do? So we called this guy because he was available, and he kicked some ass on the song called An Ordinary Abnormality, which is the hardest.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know it? No. He's actually...
So yeah, he's doing some stuff there.
Am I forgetting something else?
No, but Elias Holmlid.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very great. It's worked with the Dragonland and
Exactly, from my other band.
yeah.
And he also contributed to a ballad on this album called Over and Done. So he did great work there once again. Or so.
So if you guys could like pick, everyone could pick like one musician to be part of the next Amaranthe album, which musician would you pick to your album and why?
Me and Olaf has the same answer here. Mine would be Jesper Strömblad.
I actually have a different answer because you already took this one. But
We have the same.
yeah, of course I have the same. But now I have to come up with something different. So I will start by saying Jesper Strömblad, but he already said that. So I'm gonna fill in also Michael Jackson. It's gonna be pretty difficult. But it would be awesome.
Yeah, I used to say Freddie Mercury, but that will also unfortunately be impossible. So I have another one now. And he sings in a band called Rammstein. What's his name?
Till Lindemann.
Till Lindemann.
actually a pretty-
I would love to work with that guy. See you.
Combined with the amazing drumming of Lars Ulrich, of course. I mean, with the...
And do you want to have a guest drummer on this?
Yeah, of course I want. Just to relieve myself from this pain. Once and for all. I guess drummer. I mean, it depends on the kind of song, of course. But if we were about to like go all in and do some crazy drumming, maybe your own Kai Hato. He's a beast. So why not? Why not have a song by Kai Hato with him singing, maybe combined together? Those two having a kid, maybe. I don't know. It's not a good idea, maybe, but it would be interesting.
So when you guys originally started the band, I guess you had like some goals as a musician and as a band as well, but do you still have some goals left that you would wish to achieve, both band-wisely and personally?
Yes. When we released the first album, Olof sent me links on castles. I could still not pay for a castle. I have 2, but I want to have 3 castles. That's something that I want to achieve.
Yes, exactly. But I think you can always develop as a musician, and when it comes to success, when it comes to castles, you can never have too many. That's what I'm trying to say. But I mean, as an artist, you can always develop. You can always push the envelope further. And every time that we make a new Amaranthe record, it becomes a little bit more clear what we should do in the future and how we can improve this. Quite extensively, actually. And I'm already, getting ideas and throwing stuff around, how we could develop. But I think I'm speaking for everybody that it is a dream for us to fill big arenas and really take everything to the absolute limit. So that's what we're gonna try to do, and that's our goal. Absolutely. What do you say?
Yeah, I say the same as you, and I say also that it would be nice, like a lot of artists do. They play a role in a musical, and I want to have a family before I'm getting too
old and fat.
Oh.
No, I mean.
Yeah. Okay, over to Morten.
Too late.
I guess it all depends on this somehow difficult third album somehow, because everything builds up to that third album. That's why it's so notorious for being the difficult album, because you used the 2 first albums to build a platform for the band to be by themselves. I mean, to be able to do your own tours, to be a headlining act at the big festivals and so on. So you have to really establish yourself on that third album. So that's where we are standing right now, to actually really put it like, okay, now we're here and we're here to stay, and we're not just here to continue what we have been doing. We're also here to do this all by ourselves everywhere we go on this planet, and maybe even the moon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that the third album is, you're basically building up to it, and if it's a weak one, you can go basically downhill fastly after that, and if it's a strong one, then you're pretty much stable. Yeah, for the few next albums, I guess, pretty much. So what kind of future plans do you guys have at the moment? What's in the scope after releasing the next album?
We're not going to release any new album.
Not really, actually. It's all a big lie. That's me lying again. No, but we're gonna tour a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna tour a lot. We have already plans till October or something, 2015. And after that, we're probably gonna tour some more, and then we have a new album out maybe 2017 or something like that. And then we're really old and fat, as Morten said before. And
but we have 4 castles. I like this guy already. He gets the flip.
And then you can do interviews in our castle with a pool. Yeah.
Fly you in. We just order a private jet for you, and you just fly.
One for him and one for you.
Yeah. He will have his own private jet because he's pretty big.
Okay, so thank you guys very much for the interview, and best of luck for the future and for the third album. Anything you want to say as last words to the Finnish fans?
We of course want to add what we always say in Finland. It's Suomi,
Finland.
Perkele.
There's nothing more to say now.
Thank you guys.